been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
All right, welcome into The Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, no DP, but we do get the other co-host. Haas Tabrizi joins me as always on a beautiful Sunday afternoon now here in Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys are welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. Facebook, YouTube, XL, Channel 961. Great ways to put a face to the voice. And quick programming notes. We do got Royals later in the day. I believe pre-game's 12:30. They'll kick over. So me and Haas, we got a segment live here on the brick and mortar as well as the streams. And then, like I said, if you want to continue listening, switch to that Ticket app or hop onto the streams once that 12:30 hits, because you'll have some Royals on the airways for you. With that all out of the way, Haas Tabrizi, how's it going? Like I said, it's at least beautiful here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
They haven't traded Witt Jr. to the Dodgers yet?
No.
It'll be happening soon.
Haas Tabrizi, I just want a quick start on this because this thing absolutely blew up on social media with you and DP talking about should Shohei Ohtani be a closer. And a lot of people in the comments were complaining why it wouldn't work. And I want you to double down on this take of Shohei Ohtani, why he should be a closer for the Dodgers.
So to be clear, Shohei Ohtani could do anything for the Dodgers. To be clear, if he wanted to play center field, right field, left field, shortstop, first base, second base, third base, he could play anything. He can even catch. He's that athletic. He's that talented. He's that gifted. So to be clear, he would be the best starting pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
But right now, he can't pitch 7 innings. So why not, for a couple months, when you just blew a game against a rival, why not have him pitch the last inning of the game? Oh, I know it's really cool to strike out the side against the Astros and the Giants. It's really cool. I love it. And he's going to be an amazing starting pitcher. But as you're building him up, why not use him and have him guarantee that you're going to win 20 games because he closed those games out? It's a nice weapon to have.
More bang for buck if you use him in that position as opposed to where you're at right now. The other part of that was the hitting. How much of that do you buy into them just getting tired through throwing that many pitches through 7 innings?
Well, I brought it up. He's probably been hitless in his 5 games that he's pitched. I haven't seen him do anything. I've watched every game. I watch every Dodger game, and he hasn't done much. Now you could say, okay, well, Freddie Freeman hasn't done much in 6 weeks, and Conforto hasn't done much the whole year, and Mookie Betts is not playing at an all-star level. So what's going on? Well, if Ohtani is hitting home runs and doing bonds like home runs into McCovey Cove, then what's the factor? It's because he's mentally preparing to pitch. So if he's mentally preparing to pitch and he's not hitting as well, maybe he'll come around. Maybe he needed a spring training, and maybe he needed a couple months of hitting and pitching to get acclimated, since he just did it. He winged it, which is crazy in itself. He winged it. He didn't pitch in AAA. What's he gonna do? Go pitch in AAA and then go bat at night? Like, no. He threw to a couple of Dodger hitters, and then he's like, all right, I'm ready. So he needs maybe hopefully a little more preparation. If there are any Anaheim fans out there that could tell us how well Ohtani hit when he pitched. But right now, as a Dodger pitcher, he's 0 for a lot. Maybe he has one hit, but 0 for at least 25 in what I've seen.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I mean, if you put Shohei Ohtani on a different team, this, at least for me, this falls out the window. You wouldn't want to do that. But just, you're talking about the freaking Dodgers. You guys have the most loaded roster, to where if you want to do this, you could 100% get away with it and still beat teams apart if Shohei Ohtani isn't going out there as their starting pitcher for 7 innings. Like, to me, because of what the Dodgers have in their bullpen alone, like, you got some wiggle room there to where I wouldn't be that nervous about dropping a bunch of games just because you don't got Ohtani starting out there on the mound.
Well, the counter to all this is, who do you want pitching game 1, game 4, game 7 in the World Series? And if you could build him up for the World Series, because at the end of the day, if the Dodgers don't win the World Series, you'll always hear the fire Roberts chants. And that's just the expectations with the roster that they have. 7-game losing streak, you can already see some of the fire Roberts chants coming. Now, knowing that, okay, he pitched 3 innings yesterday, and in those 3 innings, he struck out the side in the first inning. He might have been 10, 11, 12 pitches. He was starting to pitch like Kershaw in inning 2 and inning 3, where he was trying to hit bats and not give up just good hits. So he gave up 1 hit in 3 innings. And so he realized, okay, I'm only allowed 2 innings, 28 pitches. What if I'm at 21 or 20 pitches after 2 innings? It's really going to force Robert's hand and let me pitch the 3rd inning. That's what happened. So he's starting to be efficient with his pitches. And, okay, hey, can I get to 50 pitches? And so I understand why you don't move him if he is a top 3 starter. He isn't a top 3 starter right now, though. He should be. He has the skills to be a top 3 starter. So I understand I'm talking about the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question he would be the number 1 closer, though. Tell him to go pitch 15 pitches. He will go and strike everyone out with the 3 pitches that he has and the gas that he has.
Well, and you have that preparation for it as well, and that dugout. Who's up next? And he's good enough to put it where he wants it. And if he knows who's got coming out, I mean, 402-464-5685. I haven't heard a good argument against it, and I'm not the biggest baseball guy, so I'm curious if other people's and a lot of people in the in that reel that went viral or whatever, it was still not a lot of good reasons. People were talking about, well, you can't do that X, Y, and Z, but obviously you got to manage his pitch. I don't know, Tabrizi. I can't think of one good reason why the Dodgers wouldn't go ahead and do it.
So if you bring up the rules, we don't know the rules. We don't know the rules because we haven't seen a DH close. Like, we haven't seen it happen. So everyone's making up the rules like they wrote the rules for the MLB. What I'm interested in is, okay, you know what? Since you were the DH and then you pitched, you can't hit anymore. Well, if you're coming in the bottom of the 9th and it's Ohtani, I'm not going to need you to hit anymore. Game's over. Cue Eric Gagne's music. Game over.
Hey, man, you got anything left to add on the Dodgers here? And I want to talk a little more MLB before we switch off.
Let me ask this. So baseball, for most casual fans, is not a fun sport. They'll say football's number 1. And then basketball, maybe 15, 20 years ago, was also up there. Are the Dodgers more fun to watch because of their superstars, because they have Ohtani, or is it because I just love the Dodgers and I love watching them? Like, is that something that people tune into if they're non-Dodger fans or non-baseball fans?
I mean, Shohei Ohtani's electric. Like, I don't go out of my way to watch Dodgers baseball, but I damn well was keeping an eye on Ohtani last year. Like, it's more so, yeah, the team's loaded, but Shohei Ohtani just took it to a whole nother level. And then when you just got superstars all around that, you're not even putting them in their best position simply just because you got that many great players. Like, it's a carnival of freaks of what the Dodgers have in the best way possible. So it definitely draws the attention. Like, well, I'd have to look at the numbers, but I'm sure since Ohtani really, from the Angels, and then when he went to the Dodgers, it's probably taken a whole new level in terms of viewership. And then you just get teams like, well, before we go there, go ahead. Say what you're going to say, because this is a whole.
No, I'm just curious if okay, you know what you're doing on Saturday at I guess it's 11 o'clock your time.
Saturday 11 o'clock. I might be here, but
no, but in the winter, everyone knows what they're doing in Lincoln.
100%.
If you hear Ohtani's pitching, is a casual fan stopping to watch him pitch now? If you hear Ohtani's coming up to bat, other than the 50-50 time, like we stopped what we were doing last year in September if Ohtani was coming up to bat, because every time he was up to bat, it was history. Mm-hmm. Another stolen base was history. Another home run was history. I mean, 50-50, I think he ended 59-53, 59-55, 59-56. I don't know what it was, but it was ridiculous. And that was a pitcher doing that. So are casual fans more interested in baseball, or is it meh? We don't even notice that the tree's falling in the forest because it's baseball and it's not even in our top 2 sports. Or you throw in college football, it's not even in our top 3. So I'm curious about that.
Does it feel like more people are watching? I mean, you would know better than I think even I would myself, because I think the sport's definitely grown quite a bit, even at the college level. But with the MLB, the pitch clock helped it out a little bit.
Pitch clocks definitely helped it.
Way more fast-paced, entertaining. You don't run into nearly many. I mean, there's some of those games, Tabrizi, where you would try to watch it, and my lord, you didn't have 4 hours that night. And some of those scores would just be, not even that exciting of a game. And then when it drags out that long, I think the pitch clock helped a lot. I couldn't tell you exactly how much more popular, but I'm almost positive the sport's doing better in this past couple of years than it has in maybe the past average of the past 10. And that's just my hunch on it.
So the pitch clock's done a couple things. It's made games shorter, where the Dodger game yesterday was around 2 hours, but it's also taken out a lot of star pitchers with injuries. And so with that, there's more runs and more hits and more offense because all these studs are out. Then there's also the 3-batter rule, which takes out the, hey, I'm going to bring in a relief pitcher every at bat so that there's another 5 commercials I have to watch. So yeah, the speeding up the game definitely has helped, but just watching Ohtani hit a ball to Mars also is something that a casual fan, let alone a diehard Dodger fan, should enjoy.
Yeah, and the pitch clock doesn't seem to bother him too much. Well, knock on wood here. From Bill and Bennett, before we switch over a little bit, some more MLB. Cubs fan speaking for you. So about Shohei Ohtani, says, in my opinion, Ohtani would be a better closer, and I'm a Cubs fan. So you do have other teams, I think, out there that would be, certainly if you're in their division, that would be terrified if the Dodgers put that together. What do you think?
As a Cubs fan, it's having a Chapman on your roster, and you just knew the game was over when Aroldis Chapman came in.
What do you think we're missing that the Dodgers haven't already gone and done that?
He probably doesn't want to. If he doesn't want to be a closer, then Shohei Ohtani's not going to close. That's pure and simple.
All right, fair enough. Where I wanted to go was more MLB. Speaking about the division the Dodgers are in, them Rockies, 22-73.
They are stat padders. That's who they are.
Is there any worse regular season across pro sports in like the last 10 years?
Detroit Tigers did it.
Detroit Pistons, actually, not too long. They really is bad, but Detroit, not great for them. But the Colorado Rockies, I mean, that is an absolute joke. 22-73, good for a 23% winning percentage. And
what's interesting though is we said the Pistons, and the Pistons are actually good. And then we talked about the Tigers, and the Tigers are the best team in baseball. So pitching is what really goes. And if you if you don't win and you tank, then you can develop and draft pitching, and Tigers have done that. So, tanking does work. Even the Wizards, who got stuck with the 6th pick, their tanking is actually paying off, and they're starting to have a new roster. And geez, I can't believe they got Whitmore for nothing. The Wizards are going to be a playoff team next year. Playoffs? Kidding me?
I don't know about that. Maybe. I got
Record
no
it.
Wizards.
July
Okay,
13th
record this
on the
one.
Breeze. The Wizards will be a playoff team next year.
When was the last time they were relevant?
John Wall.
John Wall. Yeah, that was a great song, great player. Before then, do you have to go back to the Bullets?
I mean, Michael Jordan was on the team and made them relevant.
Okay. Well, you see, it's a tough line of their relevancy. No, not until the Wizards actually go out there and prove it. We are
Chris Webber, Jawan Howard.
Yeah,
I think they had Rasheed Wallace for a minute. Rex Chapman.
When I was growing up, like the players were like John Wall and Gortat, their center, who was like they're studs, and then they got cute with the Kyle Kuzma Jordan Poole duo that just went up into flames. I think I was
Jacuzzi and Pool Boy.
Yeah, I think everyone could have said, "Well, this one isn't maybe the direction you want to go here." And guess what? It was terrible. Didn't work out whatsoever. But hopefully they can bounce back. I mean, the East is forever been someone just go ahead and take it. The Celtics put together what feels like it's going to be a dynasty, and then they fall flat on their face. We end up with the Pacers in the finals this year. The trust the process is dead. Like no one's trusting that process anymore. The 76ers, I could never get out of their own way. You get a frisky Heat team once in a while. Giannis seems possibly in Milwaukee.
They took that process to OKC.
What's that?
They took that process and copied it in OKC.
Yeah, it worked for them because they didn't draft Ben Simmons. They drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
No, they didn't. They traded for him. But they trade
for him. Yeah. But you know what I mean. Like the Ben
they drafted some young studs. So Jalen Williams and Chet.
Mm-hmm. And if I don't get me wrong, I would have probably drafted Ben Simmons too. But it is ironic if you look at his mock write-ups at LSU. The number one thing everyone critiqued was there's some games where it just doesn't really seem engaged. If we're losing, or even if it just doesn't seem engaged out there. And then, you don't take those absolutely as the truth. You're like, okay, maybe they're looking too much into it. Then it gets into the NBA and it's like, yeah, he just checks out. For a guy that struggles on offense, fine. He could probably win the defensive MVP every year if he wanted to. I really mean that. A guard at his frame, he just would have to want to do it. And at this point, he's not going to get enough minutes on the floor because his offense has just been too dreadful. But there's my Ben Simmons rant. But that's my point. The East has just been wide open forever. Do you think anyone takes a firm hold of the Eastern Conference next year? Whether it's Celtics, Cavs. Cavs got Lonzo Ball. They traded Okoro to the Bulls. I thought it was a pretty good move for the Cavs. Just get a 3-and-D guy that'll help your backcourt out a lot. Celtics, I'm iffy on. Pacers, let me see it. And the Knicks hired Mike Brown, which we'll see what happens there. Then talk about on the second segment, what happens to LeBron James? Does he stay a Laker by the time we get to October tip-off?
So before we go to all that, you just talked about Ben Simmons not really wanting it in college. So did LSU win a national championship when he was there?
No, they fell short, didn't they?
I think they fell very short.
Yeah, it was a disaster early. Let me yeah, I know they didn't. Okay. Let me figure out when they got booted, but go ahead.
I'm not sure how successful they were in the tournament, not even memorizing it. They were not a good team. And so what I'm trying to get to that is, why not draft the best player on the national championship team? I understand that they're usually a 6'2" guard who's done nothing. Did LSU even win a game in the tournament?
I don't think they made it in. Maybe they did.
I don't think they made it either.
Their last game, I do not remember it being this bad. Oh my Lord. SEC semifinal conference tournament, 38-71. They lost to Texas A&M.
So the point is, that should tell you something. And I know it's all about talent and intangibles and this and that. They don't draft. Okay, and you can go and say Mac Jones shouldn't be that good of a quarterback. My point of drafting the best player on the best team. He's not going to be terrible. If you put Mac Jones on a good team, they won't be terrible. So the point guard for Florida, he's going to be a good player. I understand he was a senior and he's probably 38 years old already compared to the 17-year-old from Duke. And I'm a Duke fan, so I know his name. But the point is, why not take people who know how to win? Winning's a skill. Winning is important. And so if you're going to say Ben Simmons was the consensus number one pick with all the intangibles, he didn't know how to win in college. So he had that quitting mentality in college. He didn't have resiliency in college. He's too scared to shoot in the NBA because he's too scared to take the reins in college. So why don't you draft winners? Why don't you draft national champions? Oh, Jalen Brunson, he shouldn't be good. He's the short guy who he won a national championship. He has no reason to be good in the NBA. How about he's a winner? How about you draft winners? Change your process. You talk about trust the process. Process is broken.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. That's why Nebraska football, stunk for as long as it did. Wasn't necessarily the players, but when the players walked into was a losing culture. Nobody knew how to win. All everybody knew there was how to lose. And it's not that the guys weren't trying. It's not that but when that culture starts to seep in and it becomes set in stone, the Wizards that we didn't talk about too long ago, the Pistons were finally finding their way out of it. My Chicago Bulls have been sitting in mediocrity hell forever. And that one may just be a little tight on the purses more than anything else. But you get to a culture where you don't know how to win. And no matter what you have on paper, guess what? The results end up the same way. Then you get a guy named Kurt Signetti who rolls up to Indiana, who on paper does not have the stars, does not have the talent. But what he does have is a bunch of guys that followed him from James Madison that know how to win. There was no trepidation when those guys were in the Big Ten. It's like, yeah, I get it. You got X, Y, and Z. Maybe you're 40 times better, but we know how to win. And let's be honest, you guys don't. So that matters a lot. When you have that culture, I don't want to make it too weird and get too philosophical about it, but there is some truth to manifestation. And if you don't really believe it, you're going to have a hard time pulling it out of your hat at the end of the game if you never believed it to begin with. And I think that's where you get a lot of those Nebraska Scott Frost era snake bit, and even a little bit of Matt Rule at the beginning in his year one, a little bit of year two, where you just see it in their faces. As much as they want to manifest the idea of them winning, when all you know is losing, it's hard to picture yourself in another way. And I think that's huge. So when you are going to the NBA draft, maybe we'll see a trend here. Go get some winners, and not just winners, but guys that were under the pressure cooker in those spotlight games. And that's why a guy like Cooper Flagg is going to be a slam dunk, because he showed up just about every single time. And yeah, maybe you'll point to a bad game, but that dude knows how to win. And it wasn't just at Duke. It was before Duke. He even went early just so we could play tougher competition, and he was still winning. So yeah, that's probably one of the best takes you've had, because the way the NBA is drafted in a while, you see him, take best available player, which is fine. But other times it's like you can go get a real leader and a guy that knows how to win. And you know what? The draft is such a crapshoot for the most part. I'd be more comfortable taking the guys that are winners.
So then it brings me to a question. When you were saying all that, would a quarterback like Mahomes, who's won, go and change the culture of the Browns if he was on the Browns? Or would the Browns still be the Browns and just find a way to not win a Super Bowl?
It's a great question. We don't have enough time for it on this segment. We'll answer that on the second segment. So don't go anywhere. We'll talk about what maybe the future would have been if Mahomes went to the Browns. Would he still have someone or even close to the same career that he has today? Haas, Tabrizi, Harrison, Arens. Like I said, we got Royals coming up on the other side, but use the streams, use the ticket app. You can continue to listen along. Appreciate you guys texting in. Don't go anywhere. Talk to you
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros, because we tread differently.
When only the best will do. Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Opportunity knocks. You don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
People always ask me, hey, Livy, what fuels you? Passion, competition, the pursuit of greatness? None of those things. Raising Cane's is the only fuel I need. Their cooked-to-order chicken fingers always fills my tank, and the crinkle-cut fries and Texas toast are the perfect top-off for the perfect road trip. So when I'm running on fumes, I always refuel at Raising Cane's. But turns out, not everything's fueled by Cane's. Guess the old girl prefers her sauce unleaded. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze. Harrison Arens, Haas, Tabrizi, the co-host. Joining me, as always, DP's off, busy with other affairs. So, no worries, though. Me and Haas will carry the show, regardless, as always, on a, like I said, beautiful Sunday, at least here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We asked before we went to break, Haas, Tabrizi, well, at least I should say, you asked me, with Patrick Mahomes, who I think we can, real quick, let me ask you, best quarterback in the NFL right now?
Right now, yes.
Yes, okay.
It's not close.
Would his story be different if he went to the Cleveland Browns?
Of course.
Answer, yeah, he would not. We wouldn't know about it. I think the Browns would ruin him. You'd have to have some sort of Baker Mayfield redemption arc where they get rid of him. Well, I guess Baker Mayfield did it with him, and he won a playoff game. I think Mahomes could do it. I don't think they could win Super Bowls like they were, though. But I think he could, be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and be their first guy ever. Because Baker Mayfield did it. They were just too stupid to realize it, and they traded him after they won their first playoff game in forever. But Baker did it, so I think Mahomes could do it.
It's hard because it's the chicken and the egg that we're talking about. Winning breeds and creates a culture of winning. And so Mahomes didn't win in college. He didn't win a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he won a conference championship.
But Alex Smith was winning enough, and KC maybe.
Say that again?
But Alex Smith, the quarterback at the time, was winning enough at KC at the time. And Andy Reid is a winner. So you got Andy Reid, certified winner. And then you have, because even, before the Chiefs went crazy, what he did for the Eagles. And then Alex Smith, he wasn't winning Super Bowls, but he was flirting around good playoff team year in, year out. They just fall short.
The Chiefs weren't cursed. Like the Clippers will never win a championship. They just won't. You can put the Terminator, the Gladiator.
Were you nervous when it was Game 7 with the Nuggets? Because I thought if they won that game, they would go win the finals.
It's the Clippers.
All right, Haas. Sorry. Lakers, Dodgers, what else? Whatever supermarket team you root for. Like Clippers will do. I think it's kind of over for them now. I couldn't tell you when the next opportunity is going to be for them. I thought this was the year for sure, but yeah, now the Clippers are. That goes back to what was his name? Sterling, David Sterling, worst owner of all time. I think
Donald Sterling.
Donald, thank you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they offered to share the arena, and then they said no, we're too good for that. We'll make our own, and then they failed to do it in time. And then they're like, hey, can we actually use the same arena as the Staples Center?
You're missing my point. Is if you are a culture of losers, you're gonna be that for a really long time until you bring in winners. Now they brought in Kawhi, so that should have changed it. How toxic are the Clippers that they've ruined Kawhi? Kawhi was supposed to be the next GOAT. You guys should time out, pause, look at the ball bounce off the rim over the Sixers, and he buried that corner three with no time left to put the Raptors into the next round,
mm-hmm.
and then win a championship with the Raptors. This was, I don't know, 6 years ago. Kawhi was supposed to be the next big thing. It would be like SGA going to the Clippers. Oh, wait, he was already there. Who gives up Paul George for all those things? The Clippers do. That's why. It's the Clippers.
Yeah, they might have no defense at the very least.
SGA was nobody on the Clippers. He's a champion now.
I wanted to throw out like, well, Kawhi Leonard got injured, but that's a hard one to defend with Shea. It's like, well, you missed the opportunity on that one. Yeah,
so
that is
back
brutal.
to the point.
Go for it.
Is the culture of a franchise, the culture of winning really impacts things. So, yeah, you're like, okay, can you tell me the best player on every college national championship team? Like, have they done anything in the NBA? No, not really. But if you start focusing on it and start utilizing it in a way to have this person come in and be a leader, I understand it's different. You just want a 5-star prospect and all the tools, all the 4.340 and the 35 bench press and the cone times. You want all those things. But if you take Walter Clayton Jr. and you put him on the Celtics, they might not miss Tatum as much as they're going to. Just saying. Just saying.
We only got some time here left. I want to talk about LeBron James, because you're talking about culture of winners, right? Would you say LeBron James is the culture of winning?
No.
Okay. Do you want him off the Lakers?
Yes.
LeBron to the Knicks for
sure.
You couldn't pick Karl Anthony Towns anymore. Obviously, you got DeAndre Ayton in there.
And DP is rolling in his grave right now. Like, what are you talking about? He's not a winner. How many NBA championships has he lost? I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan was a winner. 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know how to lose. Doesn't know how to lose.
Thing about Michael Jordan too is why he's the GOAT. Is like he will find a way to win in every possible aspect. Defensive Player of the Year, I can do that. Scoring title leader, I can do that. By the way, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was the first player since Michael Jordan to win the NBA scoring title in the NBA Finals. That is such an incredibly hard thing to do, because if you got the scoring title, you might be James Harden on the Houston Rockets back in the day, where you're great when you get into the playoffs. You just got to stop James Harden and you win. What Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did was incredible. I still think Jokic is the MVP. I really do. I think Jokic on that team would be a bloody nightmare for anyone. The way how they have so many good shooters, that good of defense, they could cover up a lot of Jokic's weaknesses, but you still have to tip your cap to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And again, talking about winners, last time that happened, you have to go back to Michael Jordan when he won the title, his last title with Chicago. So yeah, I think Mahomes
Sam Presti is the MVP.
What's that?
Sam Presti is the MVP.
We can give to him. You want to give it to Sam Presti? That's fine. I think
How do you turn James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant into a championship team? Well, he did. I don't know how, but he did.
Draft picks. That's how you do it.
He drafted all those guys.
No, but you get draft picks. You get a bunch of draft picks, and you use those picks because you got them like candy to get the guys that you want when you finally got enough. They didn't draft all those guys, but they have done decent drafting. Obviously not an all hit, but they've raked up so many picks throughout the years that they could just.
They didn't draft Durant, Westbrook, and Harden.
Yeah, I mean, well, Durant, Seattle Supersonics. I'm talking. They did such a good job harvesting picks. I don't care how they got them, whether they're drafting through guys, they're great picks, but the picks is what set them up. I mean, every time they moved on from a major asset, they do something that the Bulls refuse to do. Is like, let's get some future investments in this, and then you can always look at the class later. That's just how they did it. I don't know. You look at what the Houston Rockets did. They kind of copied that same model. Like, it's fine. We'll stay young. We'll just hold on to picks. We'll draft players. And now they're in a better situation. And now they got Kevin Durant because they finally feel like they're in a position to go swing big. And Kevin Durant and Houston Rockets are going to be a major problem in the West. Unfortunately, they're in the West, so there's 10 other major problems in there. But that's the recipe in the NBA as of late, is you just go for quantity of picks. The problem is a lot of GMs get fired if they don't start winning early, so a lot of GMs are hesitant to do so. They want to make that big splash. They don't want to trade down. They want to hold on to picks. Now, if you nail them, you're in a good spot. But there's times where if you're in no contention and you don't have absolute confidence that this guy's going to be a superstar, like, I'm okay with trading down high value picks, which, there's a few teams this year that I'm surprised they didn't go ahead and do, but nonetheless.
Again, I cleared up that he didn't draft SGA, but he drafted Durant. That was his first pick ever.
Yeah.
So drafting Durant, then drafting Westbrook, and then Harden, that guy has to, since he finally won a championship and he'll win a couple more, he might be the Jerry West of GMs. Jerry West bringing Kobe and Shaq to the Lakers is probably the greatest thing that I've seen as a GM. But drafting like that takes a lot of skill. All right, back to LeBron. I was trying to, in my mind earlier this week, say we should talk about the Lakers less. People talk about the Lakers too much. They don't deserve to be spoken about this much. They just don't. Like, you haven't. Winning in the playoffs allows you to be spoken about. So if we want to talk about the Pacers, we want to talk about OKC, they deserve it. Now we can talk about how the Pacers
deserve it, though. I mean, that's kind of why we're talking about it. Does LeBron deserve to be talked about? That's why to talk about the Lakers right now.
I am not as high on LeBron as the I don't know what words I'm allowed to use on the radio. These Bron fans are.
For streaming only, but I appreciate the choice words anyways.
I just don't. I don't get it. I. You know what LeBron is to me? He is Ben Simmons, but he's been more successful, and by that I mean he's full of talent, but gives up when his team needs him the most. That's what LeBron is. Sorry.
Selective effort.
I see that selective effort all the time. Well, he's 40. Don't brag about how amazing he is at 40 and then say it's okay for him to never play defense.
Okay.
But only play defense on highlights, that highlight block, highlight this. But he does not play sound defense. Alex Caruso is significantly better than LeBron James at defense. There's 10 people on OKC that are better than LeBron James at defense. That's why I'm frustrated with him.
Not that I don't think LeBron James can, but again, I think it is selective for him. And thank you for saying that point. Like, I don't care if LeBron James is 40. That is a great achievement, but you cannot end on a good game and saying, like, look how great he is. He's 40. And then when he has a bad game, being like, well, he's only 40. You can't criticize him. If we're going to glorify him for it, then we're allowed to criticize him. He's still signing to play in the NBA. He doesn't get different evaluation because he's 40. He gets evaluated like he's an NBA player, which ages from anywhere. Like, I never understood that. And that is the double.
Austin Reeves is white, so he can't play defense. Luka Doncic is European, so he can't play defense. They can't play defense. They're not good at defense.
No, they're not.
The three of them on the court together, they don't play defense well.
And DeAndre Ayton is going to be the strongest rim protector. He's good, but he's not. You're not going to be scaring Giannis or deterring Victor Wembanyama or even Cooper Flag on the Dallas Mavericks. And Jokic is going to put him in the spin cycle. If I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, thank you, LeBron James. I tip my cap. I'm trying to move on from it because after this year, this is the last year he took the extension. I think it's like $56 million, steep price.
52.6.
52.6. Thank you. I want to try to move. Hey, Knicks, I think you guys can win a title right now, and I got the guy for you. That's what I'm trying to do. I am, because like after this year, what do? You re-sign him? Did you let him go?
He's an expiring contract for the Lakers, and whatever value they can get to free up that cap space so they could sign another star next to Luka and Reeves, That's what the Lakers were trying to do, which is why there's a messy divorce happening right now, and there's no announcement on ESPN about re-signing the Lakers. The Jeannie Buss didn't go to a podium. Rob Pelinka didn't go to a podium and say, "We are so happy and thrilled to bring back LeBron James." In age 41 year, they didn't do any of that. They're like, "Oh crap, he took $52 million from us." And he's
I mean, that's how they honestly had to feel. Like, this is not great. Do you think the Knicks would actually bite though? Like, the idea for me is like, would the Knicks even want that though? Because that contract is insane.
I don't trust the Knicks having any intelligence after firing Tom Thibodeau.
I agree.
He's going to be on the Knicks.
All right.
Mitchell Robinson and another contract that's 2025, $30 million. If Josh Hart makes that, bring Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson to the Lakers and call it a day.
Yeah, that might be the end of it. LeBron is having the weirdest kind of twilight of his career. And this is kind of the problem if you become a team hopper. Nobody feels any real loyalty to you. Everyone knew Kobe at the end there was not going to take you to the finals. But the farewell tour was beloved. And you can disagree with farewell tours. But when you end your careers in this weird twilight era, and even Damian Lillard in a super unfortunate way that is entirely not deserving of it, gave his entire career to the Portland Trailblazers. I thought the Portland Trailblazers did a bad job pairing up with some better defensive backcourt guards that would help him out where he's most weak. Then he goes to the Bucks, gets hurt, and they take one of the biggest waves I've ever seen. They waived Damian Lillard, and he had 2 years left on his deal. So now you got to double that plus one because you waived him. And like, what a horrible wave for Damian Lillard to kind of be last few years of his career. And like I said, he may have quite a few left to go, but it's just a bad way to go out. And LeBron James, who could he save it like Michael Jordan? Like everyone just kind of forgets about the Wizards. Would it be anything like that for LeBron James?
No. LeBron is chasing ghosts. Michael Jordan wasn't chasing anything. He was trying to put fans in the arena at MCI Center in Washington. So LeBron is, and it's okay. You're supposed to be chasing championships.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan at that time, he was done with championships. Like if he wanted championships, he would have gone and joined the Spurs, the Lakers. Oh, let me join my boy Phil Jackson in the Lakers. That's what he could have done. But he wanted to, as a management personnel for the Wizards, to give them some glory. And it was a thing to actually go watch the Wizards play. Because no one cared about the Wizards for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
But to have a ticket to go watch the Wizards play, it was a thing. So to watch the Wizards play now, it's because you're going to go watch the Lakers who are in town. You're going to go watch the Celtics because they're in town. You're going to go watch the Knicks because they're in town. But back then, you watched the Wizards because you wanted to watch Michael Jordan. So no, LeBron James is not going to go and do a farewell tour where if Cleveland was in last place, he's not going to Cleveland. He should go to Cleveland now. He can go win a championship with Cleveland again.
I don't think Cleveland would take him. They would. I mean, maybe monetary wise, it's a slam dunk for them, but you know,
they have some cap issues.
Yeah, fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times. What are we doing here? LeBron
James
was
Boston when they were trying to dump those salaries.
That would have been huge. That could be the team that LeBron James would actually be a perfect plug and fit because Tatum just hasn't really been that guy consistently, and neither has Brown. And now with Tatum too, it's who knows. And then over in the East, I was talking about the Pacers before, but Halliburton's going to be out the entire year. So the East, for obvious reasons, is where you want to be. So the Knicks, yes, but Celtics, I think they could have ran the show there. But that being said, I don't know how much is going to matter. It feels like the West is going to take over here for a few years. Because if it's not the Thunder, give me the Nuggets next year. I think getting Cam Johnson was huge, but I'll put in the Thunder again. And then you're still waiting on the Warriors. You're still waiting. You can never fully count out the Warriors, but I think they are getting to that end of the road here. We only got a few minutes left, and I know we're kind of rambling around the NBA here. I did want to ask you one more thing, but if you got some other subjects you want to get to,
skip Houston first of all. Houston's going to be legit next year.
Yeah, and the addition of Kevin Durant, who number 2 seed, wasn't by a huge margin, and then everybody else that I mentioned before, you pick your poison. They were all like one game apart, or exact same record with a tiebreaker to decide the playoff seeding. So the West is an absolute gauntlet. But Haas, if you got anything else you want to get to, go for it. Otherwise, I got one more question for you.
So let me say this before I forget. Monday Night Raw. Will they have an impromptu match saying Jey Uso is going to fight Gunther for the belt, and then Jey Uso will win the championship without any story around that? Because Saturday Night Main Event was completely ruined with what now looks to be a legit injury to Seth Rollins. So we were watching Saturday Night Main Event last night in the Tabrizi household, and we're like, this was the worst crap we've ever seen. This was so bad. What's going on
here? But this is I didn't catch it, but what I did saw. I don't remember all the TikToker. Is there some TikToker? Did some kid get stiff armed onto the ground? Like his name was Big Justice.
No clue.
Okay, carry on then. I thought it was amusing. I was trying to get the names for it, but go make your point.
So Seth Rollins, in my opinion, we've been saying it for weeks, was supposed to come in and beat Goldberg on Saturday Night Main Event. They were going to give Goldberg the belt, let him beat Gunther. And as we're watching it, I'm like, okay, Seth Rollins got hurt. He injured his knee on a flip. It's fake. He didn't injure his knee. They're just doing this to make us think he's hurt. They're just doing this to get our attention. And Maximus was talking about how when Seth Rollins won the belt in the heist of the century in WrestleMania 31, he lost earlier in the day to Randy Orton. And so
Well, apologies to everybody listening. We might have just lost Haas Tabrizi at the worst possible moment as he was making his last statement. We'll give it a few more minutes here and see if he can reconnect. But if he can't, I will have to throw it to break here. This has been The Breeze. Harrison Arens, Haas Tabrizi, and maybe we got Haas Tabrizi back at the very end there. No. All right. So a very unfortunate ending for our very own Haas Tabrizi, as our Wi-Fi, or at least his Wi-Fi, went out the last moment. Nonetheless, though, do appreciate all you guys listening. We talked a lot of NBA there. Obviously, LeBron James situation. Does he remain a Laker? And if he does get traded, will it be before the NBA tips off late in October? Appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, if you want to continue listening to The Ticket, use the Allo channel 961, or you can follow via any of these streams. But we will be back live later tonight at, I believe, 6 p.m. Until then, we'll have a bunch of pre-recorded shows, replays set up for you. In the meantime, appreciate you guys listening. This is Harrison Arens, and that was Haas Tabrizi. We'll talk to you again next week.